I know how y'all woke up this morning because I woke up the same way. You know how I woke up? I woke up like my motherfucking team is still in the playoffs. How about you, man? I know you got drunk last night. I was tipsy as hell last night. Grab your coffee, take a sip, get a notepad. Let's get into this money. We don't. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Money Pop Podcast. I am him. I am your host. I am the CEO. They call me Moss Money, and I'm going solo today, man. Everybody got drunk last night. Everybody's out, right? Like I'm the only one who had to get up, get some coffee in me. I'm messing around with the laptop, trying to get everything right. A little late, but we still here. We're still rocking. And did you see my Eagles fly high, baby? I just had to do that one time for y'all. Sorry if that was a little loud in your speakers or your ears, but I had to let that out real quick. Oh man, what an ass whooping that was last night. Jesus Christ. And we didn't even start talking about bets, but my God, all three phases of that game was just ugh. Shout out to Nick Sirianni. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Shout out to the offensive line and defensive line. I'm talking about domination. They didn't have a chance. And we talk about this on Birds of a Feather on Thursdays with the boys. And the more I looked at that game, the more I thought to myself, like, yo, they really don't have a matchup that favors them. There was not one matchup. People said coaching. I said, not really, because I got Sirianni as the coach of the year and I got money on it. So, uh, you know, you know. But hey, you know what I mean? Hungry dogs eat, big dogs eat. And what did Chip Kelly say? Big people beat up little people, right? Like big people beat up little people. That's what that was yesterday. A big person beating up a little person. That's what that shit was yesterday. So let's get into what we do. If you're new to the show, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us on Money Pop Podcast on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock. But typically, what we do, we go through our spiel, we go through player pops and bets, DFS, all that good stuff. 2 games a day. So we already know the 2 games that are in the other side of the AFC and NFC championship, respectively. The number 1 seeds, KC and the Eagles, did win their respective games. So now we're going to find out who they will face, and we're going to bring up our sports book right now to get you guys locked in. We typically use FanDuel. There's a lot of sports books that we do use, but FanDuel has been kind of the easiest for us to kind of check out and look at and go through all that. So we got 2 games today. We got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Bills and the Cowboys and the Niners, which should be both games should be great. Like crazy, crazy good games here. Especially that Cowboys and Niners game, man. That has so much history in that game. That game is going to be ridiculous. If you follow me on any bets or any bets yesterday, we had a modest day. I thought AJ Brown was going to have a day yesterday, but it's really the whole team had a day, and it was just like really the person who had a day that I liked what I saw. I mean, you could pick so many people, but I thought Gainwell, man, he ran hard, he ran tough, he got hit, he kept going, he didn't fall down, like he was running like he wanted that starting job. Like Miles, it's okay to let Miles Sanders go. You got me, you got old boy right here. So I liked I think I liked that, and he had over 100 yards yesterday. So when you look at your third running back having over 100 yards, Jalen didn't throw that much. Everything was cooking for them. Like every aspect of the game, you saw when they had a run, Lane Johnson running down the field with his hands up. You got to love that from your big fellas in your offensive line. When they get hyped, when they start mauling people. I mean, Kelsey had him with one hand and just threw his ass on the ground. That shit was ugly. Man, I'm sorry. I'm still up and I'm still lit from last night. As you can see, I'm still hype about last night, right? It was the most relaxed game I've ever heard. And it was crickets. You ain't hear shit in social media. You ain't hear shit from Twitter. Shit. You ain't hear shit. The city that never sleep was sleep last night. They had nothing to say. Ass whooping. Shit. God damn, that was an ass whooping. Oh man. Yeah, Wayne, for facts. Facts. Big people beat up little people. That should be the headline from Chip. That should be the headline on the daily news if you still read the paper. Big people beat up little people. That's what that was. Facts. Yes, sir. Great win, baby. Chucks, Niners win today? Hey. Yeah, I'm starting to switch, man. I'm starting to lean that way a little bit. I was on the Cowboys, but starting to lean that way a little bit, man. I've been yapping. All right, so let's zoom in a little here. All right, first game we got. Let's actually no. Let's get to our poll question. Be honest with you, because we're talking about both games. Agree or disagree? Do you think both favorites will cover today? Buffalo Bills and San Fran are favorite, but do you think both of them will favorite today? Let me know in the comment. Agree, disagree. Um, maybe you got something else, another bet that you would like to look at if they're both favorites. Do you think the Bengals hit that money line up with that plus 215? Let me know. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Let me know what's good, man. Let me know what's good. All right, Buffalo Bills repeat game of a couple weeks ago. We already know about that. What happened at that game, but it's a rerun of it. Cincinnati versus Buffalo. Buffalo is now favorite minus 5.5. Total is 48.5. This has been slowly ticking up. Like I think it opened at like 5, maybe 4.5 at certain shops, and it's been slowly ticking up. I think it's already up to 6 in certain shops. Um, so I'm thinking because of the injuries to the Cincinnati offensive line, this is why this is going this way. Buffalo's coming in fairly healthy. So I get the favorite, and then the whole DeMar Hamlin's kind of like there was a lot of energy and a lot of emotion, obviously, the first game back after that. But having to play this same game where it's still kind of fresh in people's minds a couple games back. I think that's priced into this line. I'm pretty sure he's going to be at the game. He might be an honorary captain. That place is going to be juiced up. Bills Mafia is going to be going crazy once they see him actually on the field or anywhere in the building. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I think the line is right. Cincinnati can very well win this game. But let's look at some player props that I like here today. That didn't do too well with my AJ Brown love yesterday, but I'm going right back into number one receivers. I think at the start of that game last game in the first quarter, Diggs already had almost 30 yards, so they were targeting him early and often. And I think it's going to be the same thing. You need your stars to show up in big games, and Diggs is their best offensive threat and offensive weapon on the Buffalo Bills. So give me Stephon Diggs over 80.5 yards. I think he has a pretty decent day today, and this is modest for him. This is just regular work for him. So I think Diggs, gets going intermediate, maybe a long shot every once in a while, but give me a little Stephon Diggs over 80.5 yards. All right, let's keep it going. I don't have any other. I was looking at mixing a little bit here because you have to feel that this is going to be a high scoring game. But I was looking more about Mixon. He's had about he's hit this. I think it's 3 out of the last 5 of over receptions of I think it's 3.5. Only problem is it's a little pricey. It's at minus 128. So that means for every unit or $100 you put down, you have to pay 128 to win $100. So if you don't mind the tax, kind of go ahead. But I thought this was a little bit too high. If this was maybe 111, maybe like 105, 107, then I think this would be a decent bet. But you're paying a little bit extra, 25%, 28% tax on that. So I don't mind this. I lean Joe Mixon over his receptions. All right, let's go to rushing. The one thing that I was looking at this game too was, they're going to go with the hot hand, right? In terms of rushing. But Allen's always going to be a part of that. And then you have the unscripted runs when he just takes off. Cincinnati has a decent defensive line, so if he's going to have to get the ball out quick before the defensive line gets there to him. So I do like Josh Allen over 48 and a half yards rushing. I think he gets about right there, about 50. So, and he's always liable for a good 20, 30-yard run that he typically has. So, give me Josh Allen over 28 and a half yards. I'm sorry, 48 and a half yards rushing. And you know what? I'm going to take this bet. I'm not going to lean anymore. I like the bet. Give me, oh, no, not the 25 and a half. Give me Joe Mixon too, over 3.5 yards, 3.5 receptions. I'm sorry. I'll pay the juice on it. I'll pay the juice on it. And one more bet that I do like. Let's see what these boys got. I got to get on this, John. Y'all got to see Moss Money on the FanDuel, you know, parlay bet or anytime score bet of the day. Um, that's not a bad one right here that Colin Cowherd has. Cowherd. All these should hit. Diggs is the question mark, probably. Let's see. What's he got? They're all on Diggs anytime touchdown. See? So when you look at these and you want to bet these, start comparing them, right? These both look comparable, but look, they're both on Diggs anytime touchdown score. Now, these guys got back end analytics and stuff. They have to work. Like the book doesn't want you to win, right? They don't want you to win money, right? Obviously, they want you to make bad bets. And that's what we come here at Money Pod to do, to not make bad bets, make smart bets. And when I look at this, you know, the anytime touchdown, they're both on. So, you could I wouldn't mind this without the Diggs. Like if you take Diggs out of these, those are good bets to me. Like this one is a no-brainer if you take Diggs out. Like Singletary not to get 25 rushing yards, he would have to get stuff. Maybe like 8 or 9 carries, right? For like 19 yards, but Cook is, making it work. So they're going with Cook as a hot hand. That's a tough thing to look at. But yeah, look out for these bets though. They induce people to bet because a lot of people bet them. That's why they put that little ticker up top when you go on the app. So be very careful with those bets. Some of them are scams, in my opinion. All right. I'm also going to go with James Cook over his 40 yards as well. I think that he's becoming more of the short thing, the hot hand, and he's been getting off a little bit more than Singletary. This is a little bit iffy here, just because of the way this offense runs, and it's kind of waves of running backs, including Allen. So, but I like Cook here. He's been getting a hot hand. I think he can get 40 yards and 10 or 11 touches, and that's pretty much what he's been getting all game. So, give me James Cook over 40 and a half yards. All right, let's bring in the bets here. So let's zoom out a little bit. All right. So right now, if you wanted to do it as a parlay, I don't recommend you doing it as a parlay. But if you want to do it as a parlay, it looks like there's a same game parlay. Get you almost 6-1. Stephon Diggs over 80 yards. Josh Allen over 48 yards and James Cook over 40 yards. It actually looks pretty good, to be honest with you. It'd be hard for that not to happen. I guess this is the only sweat, right? The Cook is the sweat. You got to expect your stars to do what they're supposed to do. So this is probably I bet you this is probably like 51%, maybe 52% that this hits today. And I bet you these are more like this is probably more like 50, almost 60%. And I bet you this is the same, like 62, 63% to hit. If it was like some type of machine learning or some kind of like back end analytics and the percentage of this hitting, I bet you this is what this is. You got to take into account he's at home. Whether they do against home, against that front, all that good data and analytics that goes in the back, man. Let me know, man, if you don't like any of those picks. Um, Tell me. Let me know. This is supposed to be an open conversation about betting. You guys come here to see what I want to bet, and then you compare it to what you guys are going to bet, or you come and follow my picks as well because I've won you money. I really haven't met anybody. I haven't won money. So if you're new, again, you're going to win money when you follow Money Pop Podcast. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. Um, And then also, if you're just new user, don't just follow me, follow A2D. Come to the network that has the channel, right? You know what I'm saying? Come to the network that has the channel. Make sure it costs you nothing. It really costs you nothing. I say it all the time. We don't ask for tips or nothing like that. We just give away free shit, including smart sports bets and gambling. So if you're not following, please do. All right. So those are my bets for the Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills. I would probably lean here to the over. I think it's a coin flip. I mean, if I think it's a coin flip, then you like Cincy, right? Because you like the points. So I want to be careful when I say that. I would lean Cincinnati, but it wouldn't surprise me if Buffalo wins by a score. Like that's why I'm kind of somewhat worried. But Cincinnati's so good on offense that they're gonna always be in the game, and that's why you like Cincinnati in this game. But I feel that Buffalo is going to score, and so is Cincinnati's going to score. I'm not sure if this is going to be one of those like tight games. Um, it's possible to tease this one up and go take the under, tease up the total to 55, 56. Do I really see a 34-24 game? You know what I mean? Like, is it really going to open the doors like that? That tells me that there's got to be a kickoff return, something like that. Hmm. Let me speak of that. Let me see if what's Hines' touchdown parlay touchdown anytime touchdown. Is he up here? If he's up here, that means he's live. Beasley, Naheem Hines plus 800. Hmm, that's interesting. Who else is up here? Allen, Mixon. Wow, Mixon is plus money. That's why they went with Diggs. Eh, I got something better for the other game. I'm on this. This is me reaching, looking at this. I mean, one of these guys are going to score, obviously. Um, Chase makes a lot of sense to me. All right, let's go to the next game. Now, this game has got some history, man. Sheesh. Talk about a game with some history. How many times the Niners uh, the and the Cowboys have played throughout their storied past? This line has been dropping. Right now, see, look, well, not too bad. This line I think was almost 4.5, maybe 4. Mattress Mac is a fucking idiot. He's been putting money on the Cowboys. Just crazy money on the Cowboys, millions of dollars. Um, the line right now is at 3.5. San Fran, Dallas trying the San Fran total is 46.5. I like the over here, man. I think there's gonna be points scored. I mean, do they really shut down Dallas's offense? Is the question. Because I think San Fran's liable to be passed on. We saw that last week against Seattle. Like I think you can move the ball against this Seattle defense. And I think you can do it um through the air. So Dak's going to be throwing a lot here. He's going to be probably moving around a lot in the pocket as well. I think this is an automatic bet. Christian McCaffrey to score. It's auto. Like I understand it's minus 155, but it's an auto bet. You have like it's like you just have to bet it. He's scored in every game he's been in a Niners uniform. He's going to score. You know what I mean? And it's so many different ways from him to score. So give me Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. All right, let's go to the passing. Now we saw last week them kind of lock up Tom Brady. But that offense is completely different than what we're going to see from the 49ers. And they have so many waves of weapon. They have pro bowlers and all pros at every single position. And it's ridiculous. It's like the Eagles, really. So give me Brock Purdy over his passing yards. I think he throws a lot here again today. He had a great game, obviously last game, but I think this Dallas secondary can be passed on, and they just have so many weapons to do that. So give me Brock Purdy over 236.5 passing yards. All right. Receiving. So we all know about CD Lamb, but I think the person that I'm really going to target, and it's funny because I saw Gronk talk about this on air yesterday, is the tight ends. I think the tight ends have a fantastic matchup in this game. Schultz is like their secondary option for Dallas, so he should get this pretty handily at 41 and a half. And I'm curious about Kittle here. um, I think that they should have some success, and George Kittle has been kind of a go-to guy for Brock Purdy. But the problem is that looking at the trend, the last couple of games he's kind of been faded a little bit. So I'm going to stay away for now with him. I might change as the 6 o'clock games go on, but I do like Schultz here over his total yards of 41 and a half. He should get almost 5 to 6 balls, probably almost 8 targets to him. So give me Dalton Schultz over 41 and a half yards receiving. Yo, Pete, what's good, baby? Yeah, right. My girlfriend just texted me yesterday on a short thing for the Eagles, but I said Boston Scott. Yeah, man. I said, I was on the chat and I said something about that Boston Scott touchdown. And I said I didn't mind a bet. Obviously, you have to bet it. And Sirianni's the guy that is going to keep that legend alive. He's just that type. You can just tell. He's very particular about the small things, and he looks at that stuff, and he understands, and he hears that stuff. So there was no doubt in my mind once the game kind of unraveled a little bit and kept going. I was like, oh, Boston scoring. That would have been a great live bet too. Especially after he scored, Gainwell would have been a great live bet too if you guys would have picked up on that as well. But yeah, CMC is going to score. I don't see a way. I mean, the way you beat San Fran is you have to stop McCaffrey. You have to slow him down. You have to completely try to neutralize him out of the game and make Purdy throw the ball to beat you, which is it's a possibility. But that's how I would play San Fran is stop CMC. Because once he gets rolling downhill, then the whole motherfucking wave comes downhill. But if you stop CMC and contain him, right, then I think San Fran has some problems moving the ball. You have to slow down that running game. You got to commit to slowing down that running game. But nobody's been able to do it. That's the problem. And, CMC is liable to break a 20, 30-yard run. And I can see that happening or a big play. So, yeah, I like the anytime touchdown. That's a big bet today. I think that's a huge bet today. Um, but yeah, like I said, let me pull this back real quick. Why is that like that? Let me there we go. So right now we have there's another just 3 plays in the next game. Christian McCaffrey over. Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Brock Purdy over his 236 and a half passing yards, and Dalton Schultz over 41 and a half receiving yards. Those are all my plays of the day. So we got 6 plays lined up. If you want to take the parlay, hey, take the parlay. I don't hate it. 4-1 on the Cowboys and Niners game. If you wanted to make this a parlay, I'll do this real quick for y'all. If you wanted to make this a parlay, so what we'll do is we'll take this down and take this down. And then what we'll do is, oh, wow, it jumps to 40. Where's he at? 41. Yeah, he's at 41. So you might as well take this, right? But Purdy, let's see what his drone is. Ooh, 250 yards is plus 114 on the alternate. Hmm. Let's do this live real quick. So what did Tom have? Tom had 351. Well, they can't run the ball though. That's the problem. Sam Howell at 161. A dynamic. Dobbs had 232, and that's Dobbs with a weak offense. Shit, Gardner Minshew had what? Yo, Lawrence had 318. Everybody's had 300 yards. What's 300 yards for him? 370. Is Brock Purdy going to come out here and throw for over 300 yards against the Dallas Cowboys at home? Nationally televised game. Maybe game of the week. Probably is game of the week. That's a great question. How many 300-yard passes have the Cowboys gave up? I kind of really like that one. He's only hit this once. He's only hit this once since he started. So the trend is saying probably not. And then by game 3 against Seattle, at Seattle, he kind of started picking up. Mm-mm-mm. 234, 280. I like the 250 at plus 114. But if you wanted to be sure about this bet, where are we at now? At plus 189, 2-1. I mean, I don't think he does not pass for 225 yards. So there's 358, almost 4-1. Another, this is probably like I bet you it's like 217. A little off, 283. That's a good bet, yo. Right? Like Schultz over 41 and a half receiving yards, Purdy to throw for over 200 yards, and Christian McCaffrey to score. What's this? That's plus 117. That's still a good bet. Let me do a two-team. Let me do 215. 229. That's not too bad. But with this, if you want to do the parlay, I'm not saying you have to. And Schultz, almost 3-1. That's a pretty decent bet, man. I find that hard not to hit. I really do. Like that's gonna be hard not to hit. He would have to be completely shut out, and then who's gonna not catch? Like who? I mean, see, like who's gonna catch? Who's gonna be the other person that steps up? Because you think Dallas is gonna not throw for over 150 yards? Because if you give CeeDee Lamb 100 yards, who's gonna get the other 50? Maybe Pollard, right? What do they do against backs at the backfield? That makes a lot of sense. Let me look at this real quick. Who's a good back at the backfield? It's not Walker. How about the Raiders? When the Niners played the Raiders, what was Jacobs? 4 receptions for 26 yards. Who the Cardinals got? Corey Clement. He had 3 receptions for 25 yards. Hmm. I like that actually. I'm starting to really like that bet. Where's Pollard? Because I think Pollard has to have a good game here. Like Pollard has to be a focal point of this offense. But see, they like Zeke, man. They really do. Zeke still gets the ball like 15 times a game. Like he's washed at this point. You got to go with Pollard, right? Got to go with Pollard here. What's Pollard's attempts? Let me see this real quick. 12 and a half. What's his rushing? Probably like 60. 46 yards. And Zeke's 34. This is going to be a defensive game, they saying to us? Is that what they're saying to us, y'all? It's going to be a defensive game. 46 yards. He got beat up by Washington and Philly. Went off against Jacksonville, Houston, Indy. So he doesn't do too well against good defensive lines. And San Fran has a definitely good defensive line. So I guess that makes sense. What's his receptions, real quick? Let's go to his receptions, y'all. Let's see. Total receptions, 2.5. But it's you gotta pay for it. It's minus 156. So when you start breaking it down, if you're listening to me talk and how I break it down, when you see these lines highlight this, that means the analytics, the data, whatever they use to make this line and what this bet is, more likely this is probably like a 60% bet, right? And in the gambling world, if you can bet at 60%, you are making a lot of money. Like you are killing it. Because think about it, for every 10 bets, you win six, you know, you're banking money. Like you're just banking money. Like the best betters in the world that have had heaters, they're betting at like 61, 62, 63%. Now the volume is crazy, but that's how they're betting. So, you're just printing money at that point if you can do that. So I would expect this to be a higher end bet. Maybe like I said, 58, 59%. So that's why you got to pay for it. So that tells me that he's going to get at least probably three receptions. So the question is he going to get loose enough um to have over 20 yards receiving? And I'm trying to think, the Niners don't give up a lot of receptions. Like there's a couple in there, check downs and stuff like that, but that kind of makes sense because um he's going to look at, like, it's the middle of the field, and Fred Warner is in the middle of the field, so game flow wise, I'm not sure. All right, I think I'm good though. I'm pressing it to make this work, but if I don't love it. I can't. I'm leaning that way. I just don't love it. So I'm gonna take it off. I'm not even gonna add it. So we'll stick to what we had before. Um, any game, all these plays. Now this is just for the parlay. This is alternate, but this was 236 and a half over Brock Purdy, and then Schwartz over 41 and a half receiving and anytime touchdown CMC. Lock that in if you guys like that play. Um, Now I'm not doing any DFS today, just because of two teams. It's going to be tough um, to do that. So I think that I think that if you are going to do anything, I think the stack of the day for me will probably be Burrow and Chase. I would think they would be the most expensive, and I think that would be the stack. A small second behind as like a deeper end stack is maybe maybe Purdy and Debo. I could see a lot of people loading up on San Fran's offense today, like going Debo, CMC, and Purdy, and four of San Fran's players in this game. Because now the more I'm thinking about it, I think they put up a lot of points against this defense. It's kind of similar to like the Giants defense with Minnesota, and now you're looking at Tampa. Like, oh man, they look great. They look great, but in actuality, this ain't Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? This ain't Tampa Bay at all. So this is the Niners. So I'm about to look at the 49ers total points, 25 and a half. Let's see this real quick. I think I saw somebody give me a stat. 49ers give up 5 receptions, 32 to running backs. Yeah, see, that's why I'm leaning towards that. I do like the bet. I wouldn't be mad if you took it. Yeah, no, if you like the bet, I think that's a good stat. Way to look out, Bobby, for me on that one. But yeah, I think that's a great stat to put up there and look at. What I was going to look at? Oh, points, real quick. I just want to see what Dallas is giving up, real quick. So 14, they gave up 26, 20, 27, no 13. I need to look at dynamic offenses. Hmm. Yeah, I like team total here too, over for the Niners. Let me see what the first half is. I love looking for money, right? Like I love looking for money. Yeah, I mean, this is what we do. I love looking for money. There's winners every single day. What? The Niners, 12 and a half? Winner! You don't think the Niners don't score 2 touchdowns in the first half? What? Has that happened all year? Let me see. Nope. Got it there. Okay, against Washington, he didn't. What? Oh my God. Did we just find a gem? So hold on. One, two, three, 3 for 1, 4 for 1, 5 for 1, 6 for 1, 7 for 2, 8 for 2, 8 for 3. Since week 9, their bye week, this has hit 8 times out of the last 11. I don't do locks anymore. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see this motherfucking gem of a bet. Let me bring it back. Where are you? Woof. Right there. That is the bet of the day, ladies and gentlemen. That and CMC. Actually, you know what? Let me look at this. Hold up, y'all. Yeah. If you don't tell, man, I get excited about this stuff. I love to bet games. I love to do this. Yeah. All right. Let me take this out real quick. I hope you guys got all these bets. If not, check out the replay. I'm not gonna go back, but I want to look at this crazy ass bet. Oh yes. If you don't see that right now, let me zoom in one more time. This is the bet. A two-team parlay. I try to stay away from parlays. And I know we talked about a little bit of parlays, but this is the bet. Two-team parlay, CMC, anytime touchdown, and 49ers over 12 and a half. That is the of the goddamn day. We should walk into that. And you're getting plus 152. I would love it even. Oh my God. If it was 2-1, whew. But give me CMC. Give me Niners over 12 and a half points. Um, they might score 20 points in the first half. I could see 17-10, 17-7, you know what I mean? Or even, 14-10 sounds right. 14-6, miss extra point, maybe possibly. Um, because you already know about that kicker. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, really love this bet. I really love this bet, man. So, I want to thank everybody for joining. I hope you guys got some knowledge. I hope I taught you how to break down the bets and kind of chum through it. I love the fact at the end here we were able to get another bet in there. And make sure, man, if you're playing these bets, if you're taking any advice or any of our expert analysts or picks that we give you guys, please tag me. Let me know. I get excited when you guys win money. Shit, I get excited when I win money. You should get excited when you win money, and you should talk about it. You don't have to put up how much you put down or whatever you did. But hey, tell a friend to tell a friend about Money Pop Podcast. God damn it, this is what we do. I'm Moss Money. Hope everybody enjoys the day. Get your coffee in. I know you're still lit from last night. As you can tell, I'm still on fire, man. Shout me out when you see me anywhere on all social media platforms, man. I'm out of here. Good luck.